What's up, everyone? Welcome into Bleacher Talk. I'm Claudia Collins alongside Jordan Spurgeon. And can you believe it? We are less than 2 weeks away from Arizona high school football playoffs. I feel like this season is absolutely flying by, but it's been a lot of fun to watch and keep up with. And a lot of fun this season has also been quick picks, less so for me because I'm still in dead last and it's not looking too hopeful. But let's bring in Bruce Cooper because it's really getting to be close between Spurge and Coop. Spurge is currently in the lead, 2 games ahead of Coop. So Coop, this could be the week, if you want to switch things up, go against the grain against Spurge. I'm just going to see what I can do to close out the season. So let's get right into our quick picks. The first matchup I want to point out is Brophy at Mountain Point. Coop, I'm going to let you take it away.
I look at Brophy and I see that they only have 2 losses and they're both to really good teams. I mean, Williamsfield and Bastion. And then I go and I look at Mountain Point and I see that they lost last week to a good South Point Catholic team from Tucson. But they also have their other losses are to ALA Queen Creek and to Centennial. They got shut out in both of those games. And so when it comes down to you look at the schedules, I mean, it almost seems like Mountain Point played the tougher schedule, but there's something about Brophy that's going to push me in the direction of Jason Jewell and his Broncos in this. And I'm going to go with the Broncos 28, Mountain Point 27.
Coop, it's like you took my notes from me because I have pretty much all the same things to say. Have to agree, those pride losses against Centennial, ALA, Queen Creek, and South Point Catholic, those are all some, pretty top tier teams that are really doing very well right now. And then you look at Mountain Point, and I feel like they're actually kind of in this transition phase of trying to find their groove because they've got 20 plus transfers that they're kind of starting to implement and figure out how this is all going to work. I guess I'm going to go Mountain Point on this one though, and I'll do the same score, 28-27. Spurge, here's your chance to increase your lead.
I think it comes down to a couple things. You mentioned Mountain Point's transfers, Claudia. I think that's something that is notable, and I know they're still trying to gel, and I think come playoff time, this game could have a different result. But right now, I love what I see from Brophy. They've got a loaded young class full of star-studded players with names that many people would recognize, last names that people would recognize. And right now, I think I want to take Jason Jewell's Broncos over Mountain Point, and I'm going to say it's going to be 21-17.
All right, Notre Dame Prep at ALA Gilbert North. I'll start first. I think this is kind of like a status check for both teams. Every time we talk about Notre Dame Prep, we talk about that dynamic duo, Noah Trigueros and Cooper Perry. Cooper Perry is the top player in the 2025 class. Super impressive. I've got to say, though, I saw ALA Gilbert North against Higley a few weeks back. That's a really impressive Higley team. Brandon Phelps is ridiculous at wide receiver. Saw him break a bunch of records, Christian Kirk's touchdown and receiving yards record. But I also just want to point out wide receiver Titan Slade. He's a candidate for potentially our play of the year. He made some awesome catches on that same night. I think ALA Gilbert North has the edge this season, and I think they're going to go far, and I'm going to take them to win. I think it'll be high scoring because it's going to be a fun offensive battle. I'm going to go 35-30, Gilbert North. All right, Spurge, do you pick?
Yeah, this is a fun game between 2 teams that, maybe we all expected and they expected to have better records at this point. They both kind of had stretches of losses that were just tough. I mean, it's a tough time in 5A right now. There is a lot of loaded teams. Both of them have a loss to Higley, but I still love the talent on both sides. I mean, what a treat with Cooper Perry and Brandon Phelps in this game. I mean, seeing those 2 receivers on the field against each other, it's going to be an offensive showcase. I think both teams defensively have a lot of work to do, but offensively, they have the potential to be so much fun. But at this point, I think Notre Dame Prep is a little bit better in the trenches, especially along the defensive line. I do think they're kind of figuring things out after their midseason skid, so give me the Saints over the Eagles. I'm going to take them 38-35. It's going to be a shootout.
Watching ALA Gilbert North in the schedule, I mean, they played a very, very good undefeated Desert Mountain team last week. Randy Reisdorf has done a tremendous job over there. And I'm going to take ALA Gilbert North to win this game, and I think it'll be by double digits. I like ALA Gilbert North 41. Give me Notre Dame Prep 30.
All right, our last matchup is South Point against Saguaro. Coop, I'll let you start us off.
Wow, I mean, if you just looked at the records, South Point 7-1, Saguaro 4-4, you'd say, hey, it's a no-brainer. You go with South Point, but no. I'm going with Zach Hill and the Saguaro SaberCats. I mean, they have lost to Basha, Centennial, and Liberty, not to mention a nationally ranked California team. They played a really, really brutally tough schedule, and I'm going to take the SaberCats. I'm going to take Saguaro to win this one, 38-28.
Yeah, I mean, here's the difference. I mean, listen, South Point Catholic's always there at the end of the year. We've seen them at Sun Devil Stadium multiple times. For a lot of us, it's sometimes the only game we get to see them since they're down in Tucson. I know we always try to make an effort to see them, and they are an impressive team. But at this point in the season, Mason Bray coming back for Saguaro, I don't even take into account what happened against Liberty last week. It's just Liberty is a freight train that they've put a running clock on everybody. So to lose and only score 6 points, I don't hold that against them. Same thing against Sierra Canyon out of California. You can't hold that against them. It's a new system, new team, but they might be the 6A champions this year. Saguaro's a winning program. No matter what level they are in, whether they're in 4A, 5A, 6A, they get in the open regardless. They always seem to find a way. I know a lot of that in the recent history was under Jason Mons, but Zach Hill, this offense is always cooking against the teams that they have the talent and scheme to match up with. So I like South Point's defense, but the SaberCats are going to win this game, and it's going to be 28-20.
I don't dislike your picks. I have to agree with a lot of the points that you guys made. I said the same thing about South Point Catholic a few weeks back. They are the Tucson team, and we never want to have them underrated. But Saguaro in this matchup, you almost have to put them on the pedestal they belong on. Agreed. They are very likely to be the 6A champs. Not going to see probably an open this year. So once again, it's not to knock South Point. My guess is this is their only other loss of the season. But I'm also going to take the SaberCats in this one. I'll make it a little bit closer, though. I'll make it 28-25. And that is all for Quick Picks. We'll have to see where things fall.
Always fun on Quick Picks, and coming up next every week, our teammate Chris Peterson mics up a head coach. This week, he's out at Chrisman High School. Really fun mic'd up. You're going to want to watch that. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Bleacher Talk. I'm Jordan Spurgeon alongside Claudia Collins. And every week we like to tell different stories, whether it's one of us, both of us, or even some of our teammates. So this week we wanted you to get to know some of the work that Chris Peterson does. He's been in the Valley for a long time, one of the best videographers that we've had the pleasure of working with. And right now, every week this season, he mics up a head coach at one of the high schools. This week, he went out to Chrisman, Corbin Smith, the head coach there, and get a little bit of an insight into how the game works and a little bit of coach talk when things might not go their way in the first half.
We play at our level that they can't compete with. You guys want this? Yes, sir. Then start acting like it.
Here we go, baby. I love you all.
Yeah.
Make sure these kids know I'm mic'd up, so till halftime, okay? So let's just
can hear everything you say.
Yeah. It's a new school, second year, first year playing varsity, right? Yeah. We're starting 4 freshmen, 3 juniors. We have no seniors, and everybody else is sophomores. Sophomores, 15-year-old kids. You want to talk about unpredictable? We spent the last, I don't know how many weeks, 12 weeks, trying to make sure you guys get better and improve every game. And you have. I don't care what the scoreboard says. It's the maturity aspect. Okay? You need to go out there tonight. Every snap, you got to show your maturity. All right? Yes, sir. There's no time for feelings. You have to be brutally ruthless on every single snap, period. I don't care how bad you're hurting. I don't care if you get your butt kicked one play. Have some pride, play with heart. Have some pride, play with heart. Every single play, put them in the dirt. Every single opportunity, put them in the dirt. You guys make the decision. You guys make the decision before you even go out there. Nothing else matters. Who's it about? Us. Who's it about? Us. Make it about you. You have time for feelings?
No, sir.
You can worry about feelings in 2.5, 3 hours. No regard for your body. Yes, sir. That's the way you got to play. Yes, sir. 100% of the time. Yes, who's it about? Us. You have time for feelings?
No, sir.
Go have fun. Okay, let's go. Captains that way. Go. Kickoff return right here. Listen, we're going to start off with it. Wall reverse. Here we go. Score on 3. 1, 2, 3. Score. Hurry up. There it is. Got it. Come on. Go.
Keep going outside.
Hey!
That's perfect. Go, Jay. Go, Jay. Go, Jake.
Where's he going, man? Hey, where's Jaden?
Inside.
Jaden!
Outside. It's not loading.
Stick your nose up there and run, okay? All right? There you go. That's better. That's what we want. Quarter. Is that the quarter? Okay, thank you.
Good job, Jake. Good job.
Who's going to lead? And leading isn't telling other people their job. Leading is doing your job first. Holding yourself accountable first. You can't hold anybody else accountable if you don't hold yourself accountable. We're going to see what you got. Okay? We're going to see what you have this second half. You want to know the truth? You're a better football team than them. You guys know it, am I right? Yes. You're playing at a level that you play higher than. Learn how to win. Find a way to win this game. Let's see what you're made of. Let's see who has guts. Let's see who's going to play with their pads and just shut up and play. Play with your pads. Okay? Yes, shut your mouth. Play with your pads. We're going to see what you're made of. You ain't got no time for feelings, so if you're feeling sad, oh, coach is on, you don't have time for that. We're going to see what you're made of, every single one of you, and I'm tired of guys hanging their heads. Who in here has something to prove? Then prove it! Prove it to yourselves first. Prove it to everybody that's watching, but prove it to yourself first, and then prove it to their Okay.
Always awesome stuff from Chris Peterson. You can go to our website, sports360az.com for more Mic'd Up. When we come back, we'll have our social spotlight segment with Eliav Gabai. Welcome back to Bleacher Talk. I'm Claudia Collins, Jordan Spurgeon, and of course, a familiar face, the head of our social spotlight segment, Eliav Gabai, always bringing the goods off Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all the things. Eliav, what's going on this week?
It's going good. We're going to start things off with a smile. Hamilton offensive line coach and former USC Trojan Mark Tucker chatting with Super Bowl champ Russell Davis, who's also Arizona D lineman Deuce Davis's dad, on Russell's podcast, The Route. And for all the players out there, don't forget, coaches were players too. They had to learn to check this out.
I show up there, little chubby 15-year-old. I tell you, I couldn't get dressed.
What do you mean get dressed? Like in the uniform?
Yeah, like when I went in the locker room, they gave me the football pants and and now, Nike got everything built in, it's sewn in.
Because you had to put the thigh pads in, knee pads. You had to have help to get that stuff on.
I'm looking at the dudes. I'm like, hey man, I'm like, where'd this go? And they're like, oh, and I ain't never played before, man. Like, I played in the street, I played at the park, but I ain't never put on a uniform before, so I have no idea what I'm doing right now. It was cool because we had such a tradition and such a brotherhood.
All right, y'all. So what was a moment that you also felt like your teammates had to pick you up and have your back? I'll go first. Going to high school basketball, a little Eliav Gabai as a forward. I don't know what was going on, but I was peeking at the clock. We were down by 2, a few seconds left. I got the offensive rebound. I didn't think I have enough time to pass the ball ahead, so I heaved it from half court thinking it was going to be just like the Disney movies, and it wasn't. It was an air ball. I was heartbroken, and my teammates had to pick me up and help me out, and I had to learn how to lose. But that's my little story. What about y'all?
I feel like this is such a terrible answer, but I almost have nothing to contribute because I was a singles tennis player. So I was very much on my own. But hey, if we're going to get a little sentimental for a second, I mean, the team at Sports 360 AZ, we've always got each other's back. So it's whenever any of us fall, someone got us. So that's what I have to contribute. Sorry. Not much to give.
You're good. Mine's a little bit funny. I was junior year. I started the season on JV for the first 5 games, then got called to varsity. We go on to win a state championship. But at the time, I was dating the pitcher on the softball team, and we had the baseball versus softball game before the season. And like I was pretty much with varsity all off season. It was just kind of we had 16 seniors type deal. And so like that game, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to JV practice. I'm going to play in this game. And coach was cool with it. It was fine. But at one point, players were talking smack. Oh, we're going to go win a state title. We're going to beat y'all in softball. The softball team was really good. And I said something, and she said something like, oh, you're on JV, like in front of everybody. I was like, all right, I'm a little bit embarrassed, but it's okay. So she's the pitcher. My only at bat that I got, 3-0 count, home run. But it was because my team was up nonstop the entire time, just clapping, nonstop hype. So much fun. It was a good time, a little bit of smack talk, a little bit of uplifting from the teammates. But yeah, the one time I played softball, I got to hit a home run off of my girlfriend that was the pitcher at the time. So that was something that stuck with me because of my teammates. That was cool.
I've never hit a home run in any version of baseball or softball, so that is awesome. Okay, going to the next one. Jacob Seliga tweeting this one out. Canyon del Oro, 8-0. Pretty simple. Do they deserve to be an open team or not? Obviously, Jacob thinks they do, and I'm with him. I think this is why the Open was created. You got to give every team a shot. What do y'all think, Claudia?
I think, this is why the Open was created, but I also think all the teams that it was created for have kind of solidified that there could almost just be a 6A, 5A, 4A, 3A, 2A, 1A championship. Canyon del Oro for sure, based on record, there's schedule. I don't know exactly how the algorithm entirely works. I would rather see them win in their division than face the Open division. That is just going to be it's going to be difficult. I mean, Liberty, Centennial, Basha, these teams are really, really good this year. And I honestly, if I was a player, I'd want to win a championship more so than have a seat in the Open. So I guess I'm going against the grain of what you were thinking here, but I'd rather see them in their division.
No, I understand that. No, I get that too.
Yeah, it's twofold because then, if they make the Open, there's, I think, 4 or 5 undefeated teams in 4A right now. So there's a lot of teams that could win it that would get that chance. But I mean, listen, the depth's just not there compared to some of these teams. I mean, if they stay as the 3 seed like they are now, and maybe they draw Desert Mountain, maybe you give them a fighting chance just because Desert Mountain also has a lot of 2A players. I think they're a lot more talented, and they do play in the toughest 5A region. So they're battle tested and undefeated at this point. So I don't know. It's tough. I think, the 4A coaches voted to stay in the Open. They had the chance to opt out this year, and they decided to stay. I don't know if the Canyon del Oro staff was a part of that vote or if they voted yes for it, but always embrace it. I don't like some of the talk of saying they should lose a game just to stay out of it. That's not the way sports should work, and you don't want to see that. So if they get there, they just have to embrace it. You get a cool banner for making the Open, and all you can do is give it a fighting chance. We've seen some 4A and 5A teams at least fight against some of these teams in the Open. So if they make it, they make it. Do I think 4A teams belong? Probably not, but they want to be there, so they're there. And that's just how it is for now.
All right, we're going to end it on a pretty beautiful note. You see Skyline Coyotes and Adam Schiermeyer raising over $5,000 for the Freeman family. For those who don't know, Campo Verde head coach Ryan Freeman's daughter, Briley, has been going through treatment for Ewing sarcoma, and we are obviously praying for them. But this is what I mean by the Arizona high school football family coming together, and we hope the chain reaction continues for more schools doing something similar.
Yeah, I mean, this is what it's all about. Honestly, sorry to cut you off there, Claudia. It's just there's always things bigger than the sport, and it's cool to see sport bring people together and to see coaches kind of be leading the charge is really cool because at the end of the day, being a coach, it's all about the kids, whether it's your players, whether it's about their family, other kids at school. That's what it's all about. Schiermeyer is stand-up dude. Every conversation I've had with him, he's a very good guy. So really love to see it.
What I love about this is the power of social media, right? Because we get to find out about these things, be inspired to raise money and bring awareness to certain causes. So perfect fit for closing out our social spotlight segment.
Yeah, thank you so much, Eliav. So much fun every single week. Thank you for tuning into Bleacher Talk. We will catch you all next week.